Yo, what's going on, Council? Welcome back for another 2B Hero X reaction, everybody. This week we got episode 22. So, if you'd like to join the Council so you don't miss a single upload, everybody, then make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, everybody. With all that being said, let's get straight into it. So, last time on 2B Hero X, everybody, we got introduced to the hero Dragon Boy. Though we don't know much about his past, we can assume he grew up in a somewhat secluded area, not liked by many people, slash his peers, right? We saw him get into fights with the local people early on, right before Rox found him. But nonetheless, Rox wants to use Dragon Boy and turn him into his next Zero, everybody. How was he going to accomplish that? We don't quite know yet. It's probably going to have to do with something with, accumulating a mass amount of trust. But nonetheless, step one, everybody, is getting Dragon Boy into the top 10. But Rox is not the only one who thought of this plan, everybody. Shang is also trying to get Nice into the top 10. And they're both going to accomplish this by trying to take out Smiles. Kind of crazy. Smiles got targeted by two people at the same time like this. Just wild. Just wild. But speaking of Smile, everybody, Smile somehow figured out X's secret identity. Whether that be because, they know each other on a deeper level, whether it's be like family or friends or even like a mentor type situation. Regardless, somehow Smile figured it out, everybody, which is crazy. And then at the end of the episode, everybody, we got the beginning of Dragon Boy versus Smile, everybody. I can't wait to see how it ends in this episode. Thoughts, McMillian?
I'm also interested to see how this ends, especially since Dragon Boy snitched on Dice right before Fade to Black. He's like, "Hey, I'm not the only one here to do this. You just go watch. You just go stay there." So I am interested to see how both of them are going to tackle this, especially since we saw last episode that Nice was inspired to become a hero by Smile.
Yeah.
So this obviously, even by last episode, we saw that this was kind of like carrying him up, like basically like, well, what he has to do. So I'm interested to see, will this work out in a clean way, or how messy is this gonna get, really?
100%.
I'm also wondering, does Smiles granted, we did see him put X to bed last episode, but I do wonder, with the fact that they're fighting not that far from where he lives, could he potentially be stepping in at some point this episode?
That's a good question. That is a good question.
Yeah, only this episode, only time will tell us, really, I think.
Well, there we go. There we go. Well, everybody, enough of the yapping, everybody. We're going to get straight into the episode. Once again, everybody, 2B Hero X, episode 22, The Last Smile. Let's get into it.
The founding of the Commission marked the beginning of a new era. And this organization was created for one reason. The Dawnfall Incident.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. Get more backstory?
They worshiping him.
I mean, they said like a god.
All of the heroes to beat him.
Envy, suspicion, fear. They were disguised as praise, force-fed to Zero in the form of prayers and songs.
Crazy. So the people
It
fed
was a
him the fear?
shame. He couldn't endure the pain all that brings. He wasn't perfect. And so, he fell.
I guess his powers may have been a mixture.
That is why, before rising to godhood, experiencing pain is a necessary trial.
Interesting. Okay.
So he went out of his way to find a person who had the power to legitimately absorb pain. He took that shit literally. Oh.
Where is he?
I mentioned you in the intro. I didn't really think we was gonna see you again. No. Oh, shit.
There you go.
Hey, Nice! Perfect timing! Come help me out!
Fortunately, he ain't there
As-
to help you out.
as Eliza said in Hamilton, I'm not here for you.
Do you really think he's here to save you? He came to steal your rank, Gramps.
I have no doubt that Smile has
Not
become
he.
their target as well.
Is that dog?
That is a puppy.
Your job is to wait. Then, once you get them alone, inject the fear.
Okay, so
God
we
damn.
just
Demolish
injected
them.
fear into the puppy.
Reduce them to a stepping stone on your climb.
And it was like, how can we make Shang look more off his rocker? Have him fuck up a dog.
You will not prove yourself with that cheap smile. I need a weapon that can exact vengeance.
They've always done like a different presentation with these backstories, and they always been different.
Yeah, no, they
Okay, so screw the plan. So he did decide to attack Smile in the end anyway? That's crazy. He snapped.
Oh no, he's
Oh no, he hit Dragon Ball.
okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was about to say it might not be a good thing.
Yeah.
Not you looking like you don't know what you just did. Got the smiles. He was like, oh no. What have I done?
Yeah, he just made a problem.
My power lets me absorb all the damage you fools deal to me.
Okay, yeah, so.
Turn it back on you twofold. Including
Oh.
fear.
So he knew what it was? Interesting. I guess it makes sense because technically rock was about fear, right?
There, yeah. Oh. Oh
You okay?
no.
I've seen a lot worse than some goo. I'm not worried about
That's
it.
not regular goo.
It's crazy he was
Also,
able to best spit it back at him though like that.
Well, I mean, I guess his name is Dragon Boy for a reason.
So was that all the fear he absorbed?
I think so.
So
But the problem is, Dragon Boy said he can. Ooh.
make it twofold, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now Smile looks like the orphanage director. So this gonna be an issue.
You did, you right. Where you think you go? You think you're just gonna make a monster and leave? Yeah, so Dragon Ball doesn't seem to be affected by it.
Like, they can absorb it and redirect it, which is interesting. God damn. You putting boot to ass.
I don't think so. It's
Okay,
pulling him.
so is this how he
His
raised
ass.
his trust?
I think that was what Shang wanted, is whoever survived Nice was probably gonna fight as a monster.
Yeah, that was his plan, yeah.
Which it brings an interesting thing, since Shang said he created Nice with fear. Were all of Nice's villains, except the one we know about, were they created by fear?
Why isn't he helping him?
Stop laughing! Stop laughing at me!
Oh, more backstory.
No, not the flashback. He's drowning somewhere. Where is he?
Well, it looks like he's under the ice too.
This better not be rocks.
Told you you could do it. You're not a good
His
litigant.
mom?
Hang in there.
Not hang in there.
Do what? What am I doing? What are we doing to this kid?
I don't know. She's crazy, as we can see.
What a disappointment.
Oh my. So he had to save his own life in this situation? From his own parents at that, which is crazy. Oh, his body changed.
Is he also using fear?
Maybe it was from the fear of dying?
That's what I'm wondering. this could explain if Dragon Boy is able to tap into fear and use it how he wants to. This would explain why Rox wants to turn him into Zero.
A little bit, yeah.
If he
that
can,
means
if
he can control
combine,
fear, yeah.
Yeah. What you gonna do, nice?
Idiot. So nice of you to make yourself the bad guy.
I figured that was gonna be the thing.
First he wouldn't.
What's wrong with him? Nice
Oh,
is
okay, so
losing
now they
it.
think Nice is on the wrong side.
Yeah. This is why she's Shang somewhere in the office building like, God damn it, that boy done fucked up. Yeah, he's moving though.
What if he's gonna start losing his balance though, because people think he's on the wrong side, bro?
Yeah. Well, considering that the commoner still trusted him nice before he found out all that bullshit. I mean,
Maybe not
Maybe
then,
they
yeah.
put this. Maybe they put this under wraps. I don't know.
Yeah! Kill him!
God
Oh
damn.
my!
Y'all suicides really fast.
He's the villain! Why do they want him to win? He's just so hot they don't care.
He can't keep up though. Okay, nice. Oh, is that who I think it is?
Oh, yep.
Then he changed
now
the
we're in 3D.
animation. Then he changed
Ah!
the animation.
Oh.
We're
Hey, I
back.
called it.
We're back. Wait, so is the reason why we haven't been flipping back and forth because X wasn't in the picture yet?
Are you here?
That's a good point.
I don't believe in overtime. This sucks.
So you like Anonymous?
I just was thinking that. Oh, animation switch again.
So he's showing out. Like he's changing reality with the snap of a finger.
I figured that, yeah, it's very interesting.
I'm eating good.
Well, you beat up
tonight,
his best
boy.
friend, so.
I would have been happy making the top 10 here.
Huh?
So loud.
What? Oh no.
No wonder Queen lost. What the fuck?
What the what's that?
He turned him into paper. I can't.
Turned him
I
to a
can't
piece
get
of
over that.
paper. Dang, Smiles' body just like obliterated.
Yeah, I say it was like DJ Shindig. So it seems like if you're injected with a certain amount of, oh
wait,
no. Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yeah, at least there's something left over.
Okay. For a second, I thought this was like a DJ Shindig situation. If you overload it with fear, looks like your body just gives out eventually.
And he died with a smile on his
That's
face.
not because he can't not
That's crazy.
have a smile.
Yep, and that's what throws Nice over the edge.
See, this is what I'm talking about. I hate being right because it's exactly the same shit I said last episode. He gonna end up Nice. Smile gonna end up dying, and Nice gonna somehow be responsible, just not in the way I think. And they.
It was exactly like that.
All right, Rock, what you think?
So that's how it is. Try to run, but you're mine now.
what does that? Fuck this nigga. What does that-
So
what the
maybe
fuck
so
does
he
that
so he,
mean?
he might be thinking that because he actually picked up the pen that he might be related to Smile in some way or some fashion, right? But they're definitely close somehow, right?
Oh, yeah.
they're some way or
That's
another they
so
are
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
close.
Yeah, maybe it is that. I just, oh man, that was such a small gesture. Like, what I'm just like in my head, is that what he got from it, or is it something else?
Is it something else? Yeah, it's crazy. Or maybe that was him just like taking over like everything that he saw overall. He was like, okay, maybe that's how your power works, right? Maybe now I see like how you get down a little bit, so now I can start thinking about how to take you down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's just he turned that man into a piece of paper, a storyboard image. Grabbed that man and crumbled him up.
I said, "Oh hell, Doctor Strange? What the fuck?"
Yeah, that was like some Doctor Strange type stuff right there.
I was like, "What?" I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "No wonder Queen lost." Like her power, like in my head, I was like, "Queen's power is to change the rules and stuff around her," but he legitimately
is like changing reality.
Yeah.
So it's basically like Queen's power, but on crack, essentially. Because because I don't think Queen's power allows her to control a zone in an area, like
that's what
but it doesn't allow her to like manipulate or change the matter in that area.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so if the area changes, it's kind of like mute, is what I'm saying. Like, it's ridiculous. He turned it man into paper. It threw him into the river. Yeah, you ain't gotta throw hands if you could just do that.
Yeah, you don't. So now, okay, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about that we got introduced into this episode.
The shift from 2D to 3D.
Starting with that.
I don't wanna...
No, starting with that. That was a perfect segue. Starting with that right there. The shift from 2D to 3D. Right. So the appeal of the show was when it was promoting the show was right that it was going to be a mix and a blend of traditional 2D animation with 3D animation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's exactly how it started off. But then of course after Nice/Commoner's arc, it really switched to traditional 2D animation, right? And we both me and you was wondering, was like, what's going on? Why is this happening?
Why is it like this? Yeah.
But it seems to be because X is essentially what's causing the world to be in 3D, right? Back in the past, X wasn't in the picture, right? So the world is in 2D traditional anime, but now he pops back up in this episode in action. Boom, we got the 3D animation that we haven't seen since Nice's arc.
And since the beginning arc, it's man that begs the question. Like, granted, I have no idea what next episode is gonna bring, like what arc we're going into next. But say we're finally caught up, right? Is that the question? Because X is now more prevalent? Because
I believe so. Because he's now more prevalent. That's what causes the 3D the 3D shift in animation. Because he's actually there, present and prevalent in the story now. Yeah,
because I was about to say, like, until I guess tonight. Well, as far as like us watching the show, he wasn't that prominent of a figure outside of discussion, outside of the fact that he was X, and he finally, showed up this episode and turned a man into paper. I can't. Sorry, I'm not gonna get over that.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy.
But, like, if that is the case, that's such an interesting way to like juxtapose a shift, not only in like and not only like in the sense of like how you're telling the story, but like
it's brilliant.
The story itself
is brilliant,
right? Like that's what I'm saying. Like the story itself switches because of the prominence of this character.
Yes,
the way the world
looks
working
and shaped
is different. That's such a dope way to tell a story.
Yeah. Because you always had like main characters or something and stuff like that, but it's almost like this main character is so big, like you say, he's changing the world itself, right? So it's kind of nuts.
Yeah, it's also interesting to think about because, like, for instance, if I go back to Commoner, right? Most of his arc was 3D animation, except very pivotal moments. And in my head, I'm like, could now like with just X, how they worked it here, in my head, I'm now thinking, now was that just for flavor, or could that have been like Commoner was tapping into like the popularity that X has, and therefore the animation switched in some way, or like could it have like it's an interesting juxtaposition now.
That'd be hella interesting if that was the case. If he was somehow tapping, because we seen a case that already happened, right, with Esau, right? So we seen that you can tap into another hero's persona and become like them. We already have a case of that.
That was you could argue, right? Like from like you pointing that out. Remember how during the fight it started 3D and then transitioned into 2D when they started when the new Esau started to tap into and become more of what the old Esau was. Like that to be Hero X.
Oh man, even though I think that was more of a flavor style, that transition there. But
I mean,
it
I'm
is
just
interesting.
saying, like, if you
recontextualize it, if we taking it all into contextual, in the context here, it's crazy.
I really like it because it's just like, one, such a cool way to tell the story, but also like two, the fact that you can now get two different types of like perspective thinking about it, of like how this could be applied or why it was like that. Is hella interesting.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so then the next topic I wanted to talk about was our boy Dragon Boy here, right? Our young boy Dragon Boy. So it does look like, so it's interesting, right? I guess he did slide into the top 10, but like, who did he take out? Because the Commoner's also in the top 10 now, but I guess he took Fernman's spots, right? The Commoner took Fernman's spot, so I guess Dragon Boy took Smile's spot, right?
Probably. I mean, we don't know.
I believe that's how it worked out.
In the beginning, I don't remember if they said definitely who was still in the top 10 or not.
Well, no, I'm just thinking because Smile is out of the top 10 now, right?
Oh, yeah,
presumably Dragon Boy stepped into that position. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because we didn't see Nice in the top 10 until after he became Commoner, right? And that's when he moved into the top 10, right? And that's when he took over. And that's when he took over Fernman's spot, because Fernman was number 10. They also mentioned that Fernman talking about taking Fernman's number 10 spot, but they was like, well, he's too in the public right now.
Yeah, I was saying they didn't want to do it because one, he was a P himself, was a commission member.
Yeah, and he was a pivotal piece in the community right now. They was making statues of this guy and everything.
Yeah, but by the time Commoner came in, they said he was kind of falling off from that like public pedestal due to the villain, like the
stuff that was going on.
Wolf Girl?
Yeah, Wolf Girl, yes.
Right?
Yeah,
so because of her.
So Dragon Boy took Smile's spot there.
Yeah.
But this
I would assume, and I would also like assume that's the case because Nice, besides Smile's death, Nice also probably dropped in trust after video that, the video got out and like, hey, like Dragon Boy was getting attacked by this monster that they didn't know was Smile.
Yeah.
And you did nothing to help. Even you started fighting him. So I could see how he didn't get in the top 10 after the incident, because it's like, we can't, some people were like, I'm not rocking with what you just did, right?
So everything that, happened in his life prior, especially with Shane controlling him, everything, then with the death of Smile, and then with the blowback probably from, like you just mentioned, with him whole fighting Dragon Boy and all that stuff just accumulated together. We got the situation that we got in episode 1, unfortunately. Yeah, it's just crazy. It's all coming together now. Yeah, it's all coming together.
That's why I think next episode is going to be very interesting, depending on where we go from it, because I think this is the close. If we're not caught up, I imagine we'd be the closest
by the end of next episode. We probably will be like right there.
Yeah, because I'm saying like right now we're the closest we've ever been to
the present,
where we were when we like started the series.
100%. But before I get too far, the main thing I wanted to talk about Dragon Boy though, was, do you think he also tapped into fear right there at the end?
Yeah,
because that's what it looked like.
So that's what I was saying. Like in the thing, I feel like I'm seeing why Rock chose him to be the next Zero. It's because he seems to have the ability to tap into fear and trust equally, almost. Because the fact that like he went into that what I'm assuming was is like his
Fear
fear
state or
prominent
whatever,
mode
yeah.
or whatever, and he didn't crash, well, quote unquote crash out and like become crazy. Is one of like is a thing that Rock was like, oh yeah, one, I have a hero that can take as much damage and dish it out even more so, but two, can control himself under fear, something Zero probably couldn't do.
Yeah,
because it sounds like that's kind of like what led to the downfall of Zero, was the culmination of fear and trust.
yes,
Took
because
him down.
thank you, and to touch up on that a little bit, because it also sounded like, because Zero became like this worshipped figure, right? He wasn't only taking in the trust, he was also taking in everybody's fears, like you just mentioned, and that's how, like you said, that's what really truly led to his downfall, because he was also taking in the fear, and he couldn't balance that with the trust. But like you just mentioned, though, it seems like Dragon Boy can kind of tap into fear whenever, not necessarily whenever he wants to, but he can kind of tap into it a little bit and control it, and handle both sides, which is interesting. But it also kind of goes back to our theory, earlier on in the series, right? Were we going to see a hero that had the power of both trust and fear. Right?
And I think, yeah, and like we just saw what that was. But also, like, another interesting thing to touch up on, he can also expel fear too. So it's also
okay. Well, see, that is what I'm still a little confused about. I think that might be a part of his powers, where he can just like expel any substance that might get injected into his body.
Well, he specifically, now granted it could be any substance, but I'm only saying that because he specifically called out
fear.
When he said it. He's, I could take in damage and dish it out twofold. That includes
fear.
Things like
fear, yeah. But I was just, in my mind, I was just assuming because it was like a substance, he can just like take any substance.
Yeah, I mean, it might be. It might be. It could be.
But it also could that be the case as well. Once again, especially if we're going around the theory that he can, tap into fear and control it as well. That could be the case.
But
I was just thinking that because he had just got injected with fear, and it looked like he like took that and just shot it back at him.
Yeah, but I was coming more from the angle of like just off that alone, right? That could also be another reason Rock was interested. Like, if you can also just expel fear, that's another way. That's another way to like keep yourself in control. You know what I'm saying? So like something that's probably something Zero couldn't do.
Yeah.
So that probably also made Dragon Boy really attractive to Rock in terms of like becoming this deity figure who could.
He needs a hero that can handle both trust and fear.
Yeah, and if you're able to, get rid of it, like from yourself, like if it's too much.
Yeah, then that's also a bonus, right? Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah, now that you, if he actually has the capability to just like expel it out of him whenever that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's why,
he might be like you said, like just the perfect person for this job.
Yeah, that's why I said I was like, I could see why. I see exactly now why Rock wants Dragon Boy to be the next Zero, because he is able to make up for what Zero couldn't, right?
Yeah, which was the part where he couldn't control the fear. Interesting, and that also may take a part in why Dragon Boy kind of wanted to be like Zero, right? Because when he first met Rock, he was like, can I be like Zero? And things of that nature. And it's also crazy. And now it gets me wondering, what the hell was his parents trying to accomplish?
Yeah, that's I guess that's my biggest question now too, because I'm just like, I don't understand why you would do that.
And it also seems like he probably killed his parents after that as well. But
I mean, they were very clear not to show who they were. So I'm wondering if they could,
son.
No. I'm saying visually, they didn't.
Oh, well, yeah, visually, yeah.
What they visually looked like. So I'm wondering. Usually, you only do that in a show if you're waiting to reveal.
Later on.
So I'm wondering, could his parents also, in some way, maybe not the same thing, but if they had a similar goal to Rock in trying to create a specific type of
hero
or whatever.
Yeah. Because they was definitely, they was training him to do something, right?
Something, yeah. I was like, you don't just throw a kid in a frozen lake for no reason, right? Like, that's not.
They was training them to do something. Whether they trying to raise a mini hero or a mini supervillain, we don't quite know. But they was definitely training him to do something, which is odd. Once we get here, but yeah, like you said, we really don't know if his parents are dead or not, especially for the fact, like you said, they really didn't show who his parents was. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, they could be, important figures in the verse that we just.
I mean, yeah, because I was about to say they could
we haven't got introduced to yet.
Yeah, I was about to say they could very well be dead. But the fact of the matter is whether they're dead or alive.
Yeah.
I think they didn't show what they looked like
on purpose.
On purpose. Like, I think that's a deliberate decision.
Yeah.
And that will probably come up later in the series.
Yeah. No, 100%. 100%. No, I agree with that. Okay. Oh man, this episode was crazy. Is there anything else you want to touch upon? I know I think we touched upon it a little bit, but you was kind of correct about all the things with Night. So I don't know if you wanted to touch upon that a little bit.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I would say is like for that, because I think I've said as much as I probably can on the situation with Nights, but like more so, I am interested when we do get if they will touch on like the bridge in between like what we just saw in this episode and what led to the jump off. Like if we're going to get any more from him, or they're just gonna be like, hey,
what's that? Or we just gonna like, next time we see him,
you now know
going off the edge.
Yeah, like you now know basically like we're caught up. We know why he did it basically. Even if they don't really confirm it, I mean, it's very obvious that he couldn't continue operating the way he was after tonight. Unfortunately. Yeah. Trying to think. Besides that, I think we touched up on everything I would dare say.
Yeah. Okay, I guess the last thing I want to touch upon about that situation is Shang himself, right? What has he got planning and cooking up now? Because, at first, back in that arc, we didn't know Shang was even like a part of that. We didn't know his reasoning for doing what he was doing and all that. He's essentially going on a revenge tour right now. But what's his next plan, right? What is he got cooking?
I am interested in, because I don't know what other prominent hero he has under his belt to continue his work.
He looks like he got a couple of heroes, but maybe not anybody else in the top 10. Because I was about to say, like, correct, the commoner is no longer under treatment.
That was my understanding. Based on just his last episode, it looked like he was getting scouted by a whole bunch of different agencies. Yeah. And it didn't seem like he was sticking with treatment. My wonder is, I guess, like, who is Shang's next, like, I'm getting revenge on Rock target?
Yeah.
Because as he said, I put so much effort into you. And it didn't look like there was any other person that he was.
Well, we know Ghostblade doesn't have an agency right now, so that could be a potential target for him.
That would be interesting. Because it looked like Ghostblade just retired altogether, but he could.
Well, as far as we don't know if he retired. We know he stopped left MMG, but we don't know where he's gonna, if he stopped.
Yeah, but I guess my thing is, like, I'm using retired in like the loose sense of, like, right now he's
just chilling.
He's not working for any. As far as we know, he's not working for anybody.
Yeah.
He could be working for himself. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
I wonder if you probably could. Yeah, I don't even know why I was asking that. Yeah, it's probably just not likely, but yeah, a lot of heroes, you probably could operate as yourself out here. That's probably what X is doing right now, because he's probably not under any big corporation, which is also probably an issue for them, right? He's not under any of the corporations.
Well, yeah, that's what it's saying.
Which means he's not under the council's guidance.
Yeah,
that's probably another reasons why the council wants to stop him from being X again.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, that's kind of what they alluded to in that episode of when Queen lost to him. Because they were like, they were like, who is this guy? They went up to the top floor, he went there, and that was like a huge issue for them. And my assumption is because the commission probably
they don't have any tabs on them.
Yeah, so it'd be very interesting to see what they want to do moving forward with him too.
Yeah, and then now I'm also speaking of X, right? Because I'm interested to see how his story is going to play out too. Because now we know that Zero is trying to recreate Dragon Ball to be not Zero. We know that Rox is trying to recreate Dragon Ball to be Zero, right? But at the end of this episode, after the X versus, after X stopped Dragon Ball, right? All the crowd, one guy in the crowd, he was like, our X is a god, right? So that makes me think, well, is he gonna, there's already been a lot of hints that he's gonna become like the next hero, kind of similar to Zero. And I'm wondering if that's gonna be an issue as well. Now we're gonna basically, like, essentially, like, if we have like Dragon Boy and X at that level. right?
Yeah, I mean that's what I thought Rock was saying. Like when he was like, "I got you now," I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, there's a couple things to me. A, he, in some way, shape, or form, could potentially have a hint to who X is outside of his hero persona.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, because him and Smile seem to have some type of relationship. B, he could have found. He could be like, huh. You know, maybe if this Dragon Boy thing don't work out, I have another option.
I got
And then
another
like
option.
the option, it was and it's or C, which I think is probably the more likely thing, is that he. And well, C is kind of a combination between what I said with A, but like C is like, I now know the level I have to get Dragon Boy to,
Yeah,
for people to
maybe.
recognize him as a god,
Yeah.
because that's the whole thing. That's what he wants to do. So.
Oh, it's just crazy. This was a good episode though. Another great fight as well.
Oh yeah,
Queen versus Bull was still number one fight in this.
that's still probably the best fight in the series.
It's still hands down best fight in
That's
this
still
series.
best fight in
It is
the
definitely
series.
one of my fights for best fights of the year. That fight was they went all in on that one. But this
Yeah.
was nice. It was nice to see. Well, and nice in a unfortunate way, but you know, to see Smile pop off like he did. But you know, and then that man went out smiling crazy. Almost got me thinking about Luffy a little bit. But damn, man, that man just went out smiling, just crazy.
But it's just crazy because like that was never not a choice. That was never not an option, right? He
Yeah.
could he because of how the trust system
yeah,
works.
which is another crazy thing.
He had to go out smiling. Like it wasn't an option.
It wasn't an
for him
option
not
for him,
to.
yeah. Which makes it even more sad.
Yeah, it's exactly. I'm just like, wow.
Oh man, yeah. No, Superhero X has been a great series. Is there anything else you want to touch upon, brother, before we head on out of here?
No, I think we got everything.
Okay. Well, everybody, you know, this was another great episode in the books. We only got about 2 episodes left to round out Superhero X here. Looks like, if not the next episode, definitely the finale will probably be back at the present. But it looks like we're heading, you know, like Millie just said, we haven't been any closer than what we are now.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
So definitely going to be interesting to see, you know, where we end up by the end of 23. But the finale is coming, everybody. But nonetheless, let us know down below in the comments what you guys thought of episode 22, everybody. And we will see you all next week for episode 23, everybody. Peace out.